Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Good morning from Los Angeles, California. We come together each morning to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. So today's topic is how to become a superwoman or superman. So I'll never forget there was a year when I was in elementary school and the entire Superwoman show on TV had come about, and every single little girl in my neighborhood wanted to be Superwoman. All the moms made the costumes, some were better than others, and we had this incredible Halloween. But we all kind of fantasized. Remember, we'd sit around late at night because we wore our costumes much more than Halloween, and we would kind of fantasize and play being Superwoman. And I just remember that feeling of knowing that potential and that possibility. Hence, I think how I grew up, and I really wanted to discover that my spiritual nature and just seeking. I've always been such a seeker. I went into all different modalities, seeking really that superwoman within. I always knew there was that potential. And I remember going to a Landmark Forum. I'd done many, many modalities. One was Landmark Forum in 1999, and they came to this distinction called becoming unreasonable. And I remember I loved that logically because the Superman and the Superwoman really has to be mentally unreasonable, going beyond, of course, the physical realm, but also knowing anything and everything's possible. And the point of that distinction was to not have the reasons. We have so many excuses of why we can't do things, why we shouldn't do it today, why X, Y, and Z. And the point is this, is that if you want to tap into becoming a Superman or Superwoman, we've got to really learn how to become unreasonable, to not do what the standard norms are of our culture and how we need to go beyond what we've known ourselves to be even. And so in that, I know that when you tap into the divine depths within, you can find the strength of the Superman or Superwoman within. It's really tapping in within. And so today I want to make some distinctions around this of how to tap in and what are we tapping into, right? And so knowing that there's this life force within each and every one of us, this life force that has all intelligence, that has total intuition, that has the ability to create completely new and evolve the human race and even our DNA. There is a life force that has created and sustained the coldest temps in the universe, literally, the hottest temps in the universe, and still prevails. You are that life force. And so I remember as I went on my track, I was doing so many different things, seeking out my spiritual nature, which was really seeking out the superwoman within. And I remember doing all things like meditation, doing shamanism, researching and looking at all philosophies and religions and all kinds of things. And I came upon an incredible mentor. And I will never forget that he said there's 2 points of power, Erin. There's you can stand in power where you can either see every single thing as a miracle and not have resistance to anything and really begin to unlock this power within. Or 2, you can never settle and demand this life force to rise. And I love that, thinking, wow, how I was not able to see everything as miraculous. I was not as evolved as he was, a total guru on this planet. So I thought, well, I'm not really able to see every single thing as miraculous. I'm not able to not have resistance in my consciousness when something comes up. But what I can do is practice and play around with demanding, with not settling. And so I began to practice and demand that life force within to rise. And so I remember along my journey, I found different coaches. And I remember the coaches would have us do things like doing something that was really uncomfortable. So say you want to grow your business, or say you want to, start events, or say you want to produce something in your business. They would say, what is it that you would do that would be completely out of your comfort zone for you to take that quantum leap? So basically you put something like a stake in the ground, like say you want to do events, you plan that event, you don't even know where it's going to be, you don't know how you're going to promote it, whatever that is, and you put that stake in the ground, you get very uncomfortable and you commit to it. If you're wanting to do a business, you can begin to create things outside of your comfort zone, putting the orders in, doing whatever that is going to demand you to come up with the money to produce that product, whatever that is, to basically put that law of supply and demand into effect. Play with that, right? And then, there's a man called George Bernard Shaw, and he said, relating to the Superman, he had a book, I believe, called Man and Superman. And he said, the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends upon the unreasonable man. And I think this is such a profound quote. I've heard it over the years. And, I think that this is the contemplation today. Do you adapt to the world? Are you reasonable and adapt to the world? Or are you unreasonable and basically ask and demand the world to adapt to what you are up to? There's a distinction called the divine discontent. Ralph Waldo Emerson talks about this a lot, about there's this place in us that's discontent, and we always try and resist, and we don't want to be discontent, right? We just think about how we are basically, we should be happy with everything. And there's a place to be discontent, because there's this place in us that wants to demand the experience of something new, wants to demand something more in this lifetime, wants to demand something more within our culture. And so I just recognize this within you, that there is something in you that is that Superman, that Superwoman, that is discontent, that desires to experience the greatness that you are. Nike had it right when they said, just do it. Just do it. Don't ask. Don't be reasonable. Don't look to your peers. Don't look to anything. Don't look at what people have done. Become unreasonable. Become unstoppable. Become all of that. Florence Scovel Shinn said, nothing on earth can resist an absolutely non-resistant person. And so this is the practice today. To become non-resistant, that is the ultimate superpower. To demand what you're going to do, demand what you want to experience in this life, and also have non-resistance to it, non-attachment to it. So today we're going to basically apply and align with the law of abundance, which is basically the law of demand and supply and demand, right? So the spiritual truth is that the universe only knows abundance. The entire cosmos is designed with infinite elemental equations, with unlimited combinations. This law is designed to have you align with absolute abundance. When you invert this law, of course, you have a scarcity mentality, and you will experience being bounded and fearful. So the reality is that you have to demand what you truly want to experience. No one's going to do it for you. No one is going to do this for you. As you align and supply and demand your life, whatever that is that you want to experience, that Superman, that Superwoman within, what does it mean for you to be your full potential? I want you to write that down. What is it that you truly want to experience in your life? And what is the reality if you don't take a quantum leap, if you don't demand it? What are you going to regret on your deathbed, right? So today's daily spiritual practice is to practice non-resistance, but at the same time, the daily challenge is to do one thing that is completely and totally out of your comfort zone. So having non-resistance to the outcome, being okay if you fail, if you flail, if you don't succeed, but you've got to get out of your comfort zone to become that Superman and Superwoman. Knowing that this is the most profound thing. If you go within your consciousness, and I remember a mentor also had me do this. If you close your eyes right now and you go within consciousness, you can go beyond all physical realms. You can go to the future, you can go to the past, you can go to a fantasy, you can fly, you can do anything within consciousness. You can have anything you want in consciousness. So you must begin there. You must begin practicing becoming the Superman and the Superwoman within consciousness, going within, visualizing and experiencing that which you want to experience in the physical realm, because everything begins within. There are no bounds when it comes to consciousness. And the outpicturing is simply when you hold in consciousness what you want within, it has to outpicture without. So knowing and creating that. So today, going through this day, knowing you already are a Superman and a Superwoman. You are a spiritual being, capable of anything and everything in consciousness, experiencing yourself in the human realm. Have a wonderful day, and may you live your truth. Thanks again for tuning in to Dr. Erin. I'd like to invite you to write a review for this podcast on iTunes. It's important that we like, share, and comment and support the communities that we love. In return, I have a free gift for you, 30 guided meditations, which you can find at drerin.tv. That's www.drerin.tv. Get inspired and learn to use your mind for good via my free app, which includes my daily live show, interviews, power talks, universal law lessons, and more. Also, if you're ready to take a quantum leap in your life, you can join my mastermind, and you can claim your free digital masterclass with the purchase of my international best-selling book, Awakening, a 40-day guide to unleashing your spiritual powers, life purpose, and manifesting your dreams. Thanks again, and may you live your truth.